Welcome to Disrespectfully Agree with Oatman and LJ. I am LJ. Across from me is Oatman.
What's good, everybody?
And joining us again this week is our nerd in residence.
Oh my God.
Is that good?
Nerd Master General.
Nerd Master General.
Now, the problem is all of us are nerds here. So, I don't know, maybe it makes you king nerd among us.
Yeah, I'm less nerd.
Well, I won't take nerd. I prefer geek. I'll just take
fair enough.
I'll take the head geek in charge.
You know, I would. All right, our geek in residence, Rezi.
Thank you.
Welcome again. This week we'll be talking about the DC animation adaptation of The Killing Joke, illustrated by Brian Boland. We're not allowed to say the author's name. He won't allow his name to be on anything adapted from his work anymore. Alan Moore is the writer, but he hates any adaptations of his work or sequels for that matter, and so on and so forth. So instantly, we know he's listening. We apologize. He's a big podcast fan. So this is a controversial film or no?
Not controversial to me.
Not for me? Well, there is a controversial ending we'll get to. Possibly controversial. This film stars Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong. In that order, it's Batman, Joker, and Batgirl / Barbara Gordon. Rezi, you're our guest. Start us off. Your reaction to this. When did you first see it?
I first saw the film. I got excited when I saw it was coming to iTunes, and everybody made a big deal about it. And when I heard that they were going to actually do the original voices of Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker,
From the Batman animated series.
It became even more of a special event. But then it put together, and I finally sat down to watch it after having worked so many hours and said, is this what I saved my time for?
What?
And it was not crazy about the film when it first came out. Then you guys, I discovered you and talking about film and rewatched the film last night and then again this morning. And I actually have a better respect for it because now I'm stepping back and just looking at the entire thing as a whole. And a lot of people have looked at comic books for a long time as just being something kids would do. But then within the last 30 years, and especially because of Frank Miller, who set the standard and said, hey, look, you know what? We're telling stories here. And there can be some solid stories. There can be those laughable little stories you used to write off with the Super Friends, or we can look at who Batman really is.
You talking bad about Super Friends?
Yeah, I have to. When the twin powers activate, I have to slap you.
That was the best, right?
Power.
He'd be like a bear, and I'm a bowl of water.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Yes, I love that.
It was a bold choice. Bold choice. So what changed on this viewing?
Growing up a little. I mean, it's been 30 years since the book. And when it first came out, I'm like in my late teens, getting into the early 20s.
Well, did you like the book originally?
Love the book.
Okay.
I thought the book was amazing, but then I was expecting the same thing that I remembered of the book to follow through with the animation.
Okay.
And we get about 28 minutes of this Barbara Gordon Batman psychosexual.
Right. All right. So let's talk about that.
You forgot to tell the people. Spoilers.
Thank you. Yes, I did again.
He always forgets this guy.
I know.
I got to remind him every time. Spoilers, LJ.
Yep. Spoiler alert, everybody. We will spoil various parts of this film. All right. So the first, let's see, about half hour of the movie has nothing to do with, it's all fabricated, whole cloth, new for this film. Oatman, let's go to you actually on this. You watched the film first and then sought out the graphic novel, correct?
Yeah, so the first thing I saw was the film, and it just was really odd, the structure of it, because it almost essentially seems like two different films that have been sort of adhered.
So that was your impression on first seeing it?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is a weird split story because because the antagonist changes, so
yes,
the whole structure changes, and I was like, that's weird. I was like, okay, and then when I went back and got the graphic novel, I was like, oh, no wonder it felt like that, because that other stuff is not in the graphic novel. It's just...
If they were to just adapt the graphic novel, it would probably itself be about a half hour long.
It would be too short to be a...
They added a few scenes. They took like a panel here and there and made scenes out of them.
Yeah.
And then added a whole extra half hour prologue, if you want, onto this that I guess is supposed to make us feel a little more attached to Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the purpose of it.
But it feels so disjointed.
Well, also to tie Batman even closer to Barbara Gordon to raise the stakes for what happens later.
Yeah.
I think that's part of what that's supposed to do.
But the writing... Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. But looking at it in a whole, we all know what the book is. And I think it ended her segment, I say, wasn't needed, but that very ending with her on the rooftop with Batman talking about that abyss, I think it leads what you're going to expect. It gives you that foreshadowing to let you see what's about to happen between the Joker, Batman, and mainly, and I've been telling everybody this for the longest time, this is a Commissioner Gordon story. It really is. And I'll make the points to that later as we're discussing.
I'm tilting my head.
That's insanity.
As we're discussing later. I'll get into it,
Are you going to pass some over to me?
Huh?
For whatever you're smoking? You going to give me some?
Oh, I am. Yeah,
it's a Commissioner Gordon story.
It is somewhat of a Commissioner Gordon story.
Let me help you out. There is never a Commissioner Gordon.
No, there is. There is one.
There is a Commissioner Gordon story. And it leads to the point of what the Joker was trying to make. The
best Commissioner Gordon story it's been told is Batman Year One. That is a Commissioner Gordon story. This one, I don't know about that. Explain yourself.
Okay, the idea for maybe I should better say that it includes Commissioner Gordon. It's not. He's not just. It's not just like.
So it's a Batman story, is what it is.
Don't let LJ back you down.
No, it still is Commissioner Gordon's story. Joker is trying to prove the point that one bad day can make anyone snap, and this is exactly what he tried to do to Gordon through Barbara. But Gordon held on to his own, and as a matter of fact, still came out the same person that he was. It was trying to break him. Pretty much like how Joker tried to break Harvey Dent in the movie version or in the Dark Knight, where he succeeded there. We see him fail here. He could not break Gordon the way he wanted to. And it does, I think, here to that whole point, it solidifies it, lets people see that one bad day doesn't necessarily change you into this something else. It changed Batman, it changed Joker, one bad day, but the bad day that Gordon had, and you would think that this is the ultimate. No, it didn't break him. He is still by the book law. We're going to show him our way works.
Open rebuttal.
I just don't care about Commissioner Gordon. I just
okay.
For me, the only thing that shocked me in it, which was, and keep in mind, and for all the fanboys, forgive me, I come late to the party to some of this stuff. So when I got to the end, I think I called you, LJ.
You did call me, yeah.
And my first
all right, here we're going to talk about the ending now.
Okay.
Yeah. So my first thought was, oh, that's so weird. He killed the Joker. What is that about? And so I was calling to ask, what was that about that the Joker got killed?
Yeah, you see, a question for you, LJ. Did Batman kill Joker? And my first immediate reaction was no.
No, you're an idiot. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I went back and I watched it closely, and then once I rewatched it, it became even more obvious. Of course he killed the Joker. Like, it's so clear.
It does seem, yeah. And now I watched it again. I watched that ending twice since that conversation, and I have to, it's obviously ambiguous.
Yeah.
But I have to agree. Now, my first reaction to this ending, you're shaking your head, Rezzy?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I want to hear you.
My first reaction to the ending when I read the book originally was, I hate this ending. I hate it because it's the Batman, it's literally Batman laughing at a bad joke. And it ends. I'm like, this is a terrible ending. Terrible. Absolutely atrocious. It never occurred to me the interpretation. Now, it's even, I think, more ambiguous at the end of the book as to whether or not Batman kills Joker. It's less ambiguous in the film.
In the film, I agree. It's in the book. It's kind of more ambiguous. In the film, to me, it's fairly clear that he kills him. And there's so much foreshadowing to it. Like,
oh, absolutely.
There were a couple of scenes that were just odd to me.
Not to mention the title of the book, The Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke.
He tells a joke at the end and then kills the Joker.
Like, there's a scene where he goes there to confront the Joker and gives that speech about, look, I want to take one more time to kind of work this out before one of us has to kill the other. Mm-hmm. And there's that conversation. It was just sort of a weird scene in the middle of all of this action that's happening. And I have that scene. I'm like, what is that about? Like, and at the time, I just sort of stored it in the back of my mind and just kept moving. But I didn't understand what that scene was accomplishing.
Right.
And then,
which is really the beginning of the book, that scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so then we go to the next scene where in the book, he's opening up her shirt after Barbara Gordon's shirt after he shoots her.
Yeah.
And again in the film it's less ambiguous. I think he actually has a line where he says, like, take your shirt off or something, or can I look in your shirt or something.
I don't remember that. He literally unbuttons her
he unbuttons her top or something. And I was like, that's weird. Even for the Joker, that just struck me odd. And then it ends. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why is he using a rape trope? Because that's a very well-worn trope of rape where they show the beginning of the assault and then cut to something else and let your imagination do the rest. And so there's a clear trope here or suggestion that he rapes her. So he shoots
I never
her.
took it that way.
Or he does something in a sexual manner.
I don't think so.
I think he takes naked
I really don't
pictures.
think so. Yeah, that's exactly it. He just takes a naked picture to torture
Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah. But it gets me. I mean, the both of you really think Joker died at the end. Batman killed him. That's
Why
what
is
you
he
saw
not
from-
laughing at the end? Why is the Joker not the last
At the end of the movie, especially, he in the book,
he stops
Batman
laughing. And what is it that the lens has to drop that doesn't want us to see, that we have to drop down to their boots in the puddle below? And what does the line that's in the water there? It's a line between the two characters, not to be crossed. What does that symbolize? Do you see that white line that's between there, that's in the water, in the puddle?
Never paid attention to it.
Check that out.
I gotta look again. But
I'll show you. I got it right here. This is great pod.
And why is in the film Batman is laughing and the Joker is not?
So
He stops laughing.
at the end of the book, in the book, we have Batman places one of his hands on Joker's shoulder, not both, but one, and he's got a big grin on his face, and then it pans down, and the laughter stops. And we don't know who was laughing, or both of them were laughing exactly. In the film, though, at the end of the film, Batman puts both hands on Joker's shoulder. The camera pans down. Joker stops laughing. Batman
continues laughing, yeah. But I'm telling you guys, he's not dead in that sense. I don't think Joker is killed. Because if that's the case, then with the coming sirens and everything else that you see in the background there, Batman's going to jail. There's no doubt about
Absolutely.
it. You're going to find out that he's Bruce Wayne and everything else.
That's what the Gordon thing is. That's what the Gordon line is about. When Gordon looks at him, he sees something in Batman's eyes, and he says to him, he says, Batman, I want it by the book.
Which means he's looking at him as almost being an officer, not the regular vigilante ways. What I'm thinking happened.
He's Batman.
Yeah,
He's Batman.
He is Batman.
And he said it in the whole
He's
first
worked
scene.
with Batman before. He knows Batman and his ways. Why is somebody, it's almost like saying that to your wife. Why is he saying that now to a guy that he's worked with and knows so well? He looks him in his eyes, and I think he sees something in Batman's eyes that's different than the times before.
The whole first scene
and what he sees is murder.
The whole first scene is one of us is going to kill each other. And if this book doesn't end with a death, then Alan Moore failed.
No, he
as a
didn't.
writer. Absolutely.
But I think that's the beauty of it. Alan Moore did not fail in that
He brings back, in the book, he brings back that whole monologue. We see that speech again as the lead up to the
listen
joke.
Listen to that joke. You'll turn off the light when I was halfway across.
Meaning he's going to die.
Meaning that this battle is also going to continue.
That's not what that means.
That's not what that
means. What that is it's similar to the story told in the Crying Game about the scorpion.
You in the Crying Game.
And the frog. And basically there's a river that's welling up, and the scorpion says to the frog,
it's going to sting the frog because he's a scorpion.
And what the Joker is saying is, I can't change because that's my nature. That's what that whole moment is, where we, one of the few times in the book, we get a moment of lucidity from the Joker, and he basically says to Batman,
I am who I am.
I can't be fixed. I can't be helped. I am beyond help.
But that's what Batman realizes. He realizes that he is the unstoppable force against
that's
the unmovable
object.
They're going to eventually come to this conclusion, but it doesn't happen then. Batman's not going to drop his guard like that for the oncoming cops. It's just going to be a continuous, ongoing battle because he needs that. Batman and Joker are both two sides of the same coin. He needs that to feed off on.
That's Batman lore outside of this book.
Yeah,
okay, just looking at the history, what the book is saying, I really don't think he stopped. It's a laugh, and then all of a sudden stop of laughing. Mm-hmm. Batman continues laughing, and then he stops.
Well, I'm saying the film is different from that. In the film, it is clearly pointed out that the Joker stops laughing and Batman continues. Why is the Joker no longer laughing? Joker is always the last to be laughing. Why is he not laughing anymore?
Because I think Batman
because
finally
he can't draw breath.
No, I think that Batman met his satisfaction. The toughest egg to ever crack, he made laugh. Honestly, did he not?
But why is the Joker not laughing anymore?
What? he's told this joke to himself so many times.
You know what? I love the idea.
It's not funny anymore.
Let's pull this
It's just
back for a
not funny.
second.
Okay.
I love the idea, Rezzy, of the Joker makes Batman laugh, and the Joker's so creeped out by it. It's like, he has to stop laughing. Now that is a great ending. I would love that.
But here's the reason that doesn't work, because they continue to laugh together. It's not as though Batman starts laughing and then the Joker says, wow, Batman is laughing. No, he laughs with him.
But even a comedian tells a funny joke and has told it to himself
But he's
so many
not a
times.
comedian, he's a psychopath.
He thinks he's funny.
Laughter
The Joker laughs at all of his own jokes, dude.
He'll laugh at his own jokes, but then he stops and let everyone else continue laughing because he considers himself in his mind
No,
a
but the
professional.
Joker knows nobody laughs at his jokes. He laughs at his jokes.
Yeah, he laughs
no
at
one
his
else
jokes.
does.
Someone laughed, but I
what
agree
that
with what you
story-
said. That's creepy as hell. But
And what that story in the end means is, it's basically, like I said, it's just like that frog story. He is saying that I can't be helped because at this point, this is just my nature. And what is happening is Batman is saying, look, man, I'm giving you one last chance before I have to break your neck.
I think he sees it as an inevitable line that's going to come to an end, but he doesn't do it that day.
That's what the line on the ground is.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
We're not gonna come to an agreement on this one.
Yeah.
And I do want to tackle one other aspect of this ending. Regardless of whether or not, let's say Batman does kill Joker. Let's say that happens.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right, hold on. Let's say that happens. Does it work?
Yes.
I think thematically it works, but does that feel like something that this Batman would do?
And that's what's
in that
bothering
moment.
me.
In this story, yes. I think it's almost similar to what is the Gotham.
Well, explain he tells the joke. Batman laughs at this joke.
But slow build.
I got you. But the point is, he laughs at the joke.
Okay.
Which is already immediately out of character, and I hated when I read it the first time, and I hated it here as well. Then proceeds to kill the Joker while he's laughing. It makes the Joker right in a way that anyone can go mad. But do we see Batman? Is that transition justified of him going mad?
But I don't think. But see, I don't think he goes mad. I think they set it up that he doesn't go mad. This is something he has contemplated.
Then why is he laughing?
He's laughing because what he's doing is he's having one last human moment with this guy who has been a part of who's essentially been his living id for so long, and he's about to end it. And so he shares that loud. It's almost like bandits at the border drinking one last bourbon before we end it. And it's not going mad because he's already contemplated his death at the very beginning of the book. It starts with him saying, one of us is going to die.
But he's desperate to make sure that doesn't happen.
No, he's not desperate to make sure that's happened.
He says, I want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, he's throwing it out there to give him a chance. But I think the second that the Joker essentially says to him, look, this is my nature, I can't be fixed, he says, yeah, I feel you, brother. Snap.
You're talking about a human moment. I'm telling you, Joker is laughing because if that's the case, then Joker's laughing because after this long battle that they've had for years, he's won. That's it.
Well, I mean, if you call getting if you call getting your windpipe crushed winning, I guess.
It's like the ending for the character that Kevin Spacey played in Seven. He knows he's going to die. He's right there. Hey, he gets his happy ending. He wins. If he loses, he wins.
What I can say is part of that's perspective. See, I'm from East Cleveland. I'm just a Negro from East Cleveland. So where I come from, the dude who ain't dead, that's the winner. Not the one laying on the ground like, I got you. My windpipe is crushed. No, that's not usually the winner where I come from.
It's funny though, but you guys see that as the Joker's final ending. Just that was his death.
I'm not going to throw this term around as though I'm some expert in it, but I think the term is Elseworld tale.
This isn't officially, I think
it's not official, but I think
not officially. I think Alan Moore's intention was that this was not in continuity.
Yeah, I think it's a story that lives outside of the usual storyline. I think this is sort of a possible end that you're never going to get in the official line.
In the official count.
But this is the way that it could have ended had it ended. And I think
the last Batman story.
The last Batman story. I think that's what this is supposed to be.
I just don't buy it. I don't. Yeah. I like the ending thematic. I like the idea. This book is better if Batman kills the Joker at the end, but it seems incredibly out of character and unjustified, and I don't think it works.
I think it is out of character. That's why I think they give us Batman's lover getting shot paralyzed, and possibly sexually exploited. It has to be something fairly extraordinary to push him across that line, which is drawn at his
But then
feet.
he
Well, it wasn't a
have-
lover. It was just somebody he cared about who worked with him.
Well, in the
she was
animated-
arguing with him
In the
about it.
animated
Was just sex.
version, he's banging her on a rooftop.
Yeah, in the animated
yeah,
version,
he's
they're,
He's
they're
banging the
lovers. Yeah.
snot out of her on a rooftop, and clearly has feelings for her.
Well, banged her, but we don't know how many times. Just this once. It was. I mean, yeah, it was.
Well,
I saw the little animated thing.
well,
That was cute. The
You're
booty
saying-
grab.
hold on.
Excuse me, Playboy. He clearly cares about her.
Yeah.
He cares about her.
Yeah.
He respects her. He cares about her. She gets shot.
He
It's
respects her as a
paralyzed.
fellow soldier. I don't think so much.
No,
as it was
no,
like,
no.
I've
he
got
his-
I got a lot of buddies. I don't stick my dick in them, so I don't think it's a fellow soldier thing. I think
It's,
It is.
There's a reason he doesn't want her involved in that case.
We keeps her way so cold. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like
That's the way Batman expresses his
Love.
appreciation and love.
he loves her, and that's why he's trying to push her away. He's not treating her like a fellow soldier. He's treating her like a loved one or a romantic interest.
It's
he's
why
trying to protect.
It's why they can't work together. Is because he cares
Absolutely.
about her.
But if he cared so much, I think he would have been there. Well, maybe he was just feeling too weak or too hurt to stop her from beating the hell out of that guy. What was his name? The young thug who wanted to be,
Yeah,
who
wanted to be with
had the crush on her. Yeah, but she pretty much stopped herself and then said that that's that abyss that she can't fall into. She doesn't know how he's able to pull himself away from it night after night. You know, yeah, it's someone he cares about, but.
To me,
Still-
that's her purpose in the book. You're right; it's completely out of character.
Yeah.
it has to be something extraordinary.
But
And
his dialogue with the Joker at the end doesn't make sense in that case because it's still him saying, "Look, let's work together. I can rehabilitate you." No, that's not the mindset the Batman would have at that moment after what he had done to Barbara. You can't have both. You can't have he's outraged and he's been wronged and he's out to kill this guy and
But
Batman
I don't
wants
think
to
it's,
save the Joker.
I don't think it's a case of outrage. I don't think it's like, hey, you shot my girl. I think it's one of those things where
This is just a logical decision.
in some ways it's almost a selfish thing. It's like he feels responsible because this evil that he has been fighting is now hurting people close to him, and he has to find a way to abate it one way or the other, either by healing that evil or by ending it. But he has to stop that evil from expanding to the people around him. So that evil, which has expanded to the city and done all these things, has now hurt somebody close to him. He knows it's his responsibility to abate that evil any way that he can. Heal the guy, bring him back over to the light. And if you can't do that, then you got to snap his neck. But he's got to stop it. One of the two. So I don't think it was one of those things where it was like, I'm Batman and I'm mad. That's not it. It's
But you said yourself that Gordon sees something in Batman.
I think he does see something. I think
He sees intention.
I think he sees intention. I think he sees the finality of, I'm going to end this. I think he sees that murder in his eyes, that he has a murderous intent. If he can't bring this guy over, this guy's got to go.
I like your interpretation, and I wish it were true.
Yeah,
I really do.
It is true.
Yeah.
I don't think
see
Alan
that.
Moore justified it. I'm
Has
not.
he ever said anything about it? No.
Alan Moore, I'm sure he has here and there, but he hates talking about his work. I'm not the biggest Alan Moore fan.
No, you don't
I'm
like
not.
Watchmen?
I do not.
Wow,
I have
okay.
a real problem with Watchmen, and that puts me in, and that's why I'm on the outs with the geek crowd as well. But
This guy don't like Prince either. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh my God!
I'm not. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you
This
horrible.
guy's anti-Prince.
This
Throw it out there.
is the worst part of the Batman, Tim Burton Batman.
Hearted man.
If you get, I got the soundtrack to Batman. I'm like, what the hell is all this garbage on here?
Well, he gave us 3 songs off that album: "Scandalous," "Party Man," and "Electric Chair."
I was here for Danny Elfman, sir. I do not need this terrible Prince music. Thank you very
You
much.
like some of that? Boom, 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 boom.
Well, at the
boom,
time,
boom, boom,
that's not bad. It's not Sandman. Come on.
It's the same.
It's
That's
not
more your
Sandman. No.
Oh,
It's
so you
la
agree
la
with-
la 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 la.
So you agree with the way they treated the album in Shaun of the Dead, huh? Just, oh no, don't throw that. That's good Prince. What about Batman soundtrack? I'll throw it.
No, it's the opposite. But in any case, Alan Moore, I think he does some good work. but I have issues with him as a writer. I think he failed here with the ending. I don't think the ending works. I don't think it justifies. I like the ambiguity, and I love the idea that Batman goes over the edge. I don't think he justified it.
I don't think he goes over the edge.
And
but that's his one
go
rule.
With LJ on this one.
I don't think
His
goes
one
over the
rule
edge.
is
he doesn't kill. He never
Although,
kills.
to be fair, I will say he straight up murdered, in the animated version, he straight up murdered 2 of the freaks. He put that goo on that one dude's face so he can't breathe. He fell over. I'm sure he suffocated to death. And then in the funhouse mirror room, when he almost falls down that pit with spikes in it, the 2 little people come up and he grabs one and throws him down the pit. I'm sure he got impaled on those spikes. It was absurd. I was like, I can't believe Batman straight up murdered 2 people in this movie. And then we're debating whether or not he kills Joker. He just killed 2 people not 5 minutes ago. And now we're worried if he killed the Joker.
Fair point. And my point is, he doesn't snap. He makes a calculated decision.
But that's his one rule. That is a snap for Batman.
I think the whole purpose of a rule is that sometimes we get to a place where we break the rules, where it has to be something extraordinary.
But this is coming from both of you telling me not to include this in the world of Batman. This is a set alone story of this guy doing this, so you are able to accept him killing. Because I'm looking. It's Batman. I can't help but kind of look at the entire world that's been created about the Dark Knight.
Is Dark Knight Returns in continuity as well?
No,
because I think he. Well, Joker did him the favor in that one. He kind of did himself in.
Right,
was
but
odd,
the point is, there are plenty of stories that aren't technically Elseworlds tales that are not in continuity.
But wait, you know what? No, I changed my mind on that one because after Frank Miller, they did kind of want to build the world around what
there's
he
the
created.
Dark Knight world.
Yeah, there's the Dark Knight,
but it's kind of its own offshoot. It's in its own kind of thing.
Batman has so many worlds. People look at like the Adam West thing that was just hilarious, and then they look at the Tim Burton years, then what Nolan did with it, and then now and what Frank Miller did with it, and it's
not
just
to
so
mention,
much
don't
to
forget
pull
Schumacher.
together. I should
You
kick your
son
ass
of a
right
bitch.
now. I know, yeah, really. Those Dago bright throw up
Nipples, all I'm
colors.
saying.
Please.
One word, nipples.
Oh well, those are hot.
That's all
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
gonna.
Nipples.
I will never talk bad about the
butt
bat
plate and
nipples.
nipples. Yeah, thank you.
My problem is bat credit card and go bat skates. Turn into Inspector Gadget all of a sudden.
Let's not forget the Schumacher era.
Yeah, let's not forget that.
You know what? You just made a whole bunch of people hate nerds and geeks all together. Even geeks are hating me right now. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much.
But in any case, Oatman, your final thoughts on the animated version of this film?
Thought it was brilliant.
Really, including the first prologue thing and all that?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's weirdly structured, but I get why they did it. But I thought it was really well done. I thought the murder was excellently done. I thought it was justified.
The ambiguous murder.
Ain't all that ambiguous.
Well,
to me.
it's less ambiguous now that
do you
I've looked at it.
guys buy into the little after the credits bump?
Oh,
thing
did you
with,
see the after credits thing?
I did. What did I miss?
Oh, really?
Explain, Rosie.
Yeah, Barbara Gordon just shows herself to be Oracle. She's back to.
If you're familiar,
work,
are you familiar with the Oracle version of Barbara Gordon? You're gonna have to explain that too, Rosie.
This is a woman who pretty much has, if I can remember correctly, it's like there's a team of other superheroes running around the city. She's pretty much the one who has eyes and ears everywhere from her computer.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. She's got a bank of computers.
Yeah.
And there's a face that presents itself as the Oracle. That's who she is now.
Wow, I
She's
remember
there
thinking,
for-
no, that's
In Batman lore, she becomes basically the eyes and ears for Batman.
Yeah, I
across
saw
and
the
almost
city.
every other superhero, like basically for the Justice League, almost.
Gotcha.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I did see that. I was
That's
like-
mainly Martian Manhunter's job. She has her own team from time to time, Birds of Prey, blah, blah, blah. Any case.
I did see that. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't know. It was
know what I was looking at. I
in
was like,
traditional Marvel movie fashion, there's a post-credit scene that only nerds understand.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I missed it. I did see it. I was like, okay, they showing her power up a computer. Okay.
Yeah. oh, sweet. She's got Windows on that thing? Yeah. Oh, what was that? OS?
Wow.
Windows 7. Oh
That's,
damn.
Got
That's
that
gonna
new
break.
Windows.
That's
Great.
OS Snow Leopard? Sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
she had a Mac. Damn it, it would have been better. Yeah.
Resi, final summation. So you've come around on the animated version?
Yeah, I did 180 on this one. I do have a bigger respect for it now. And then listen to you gentlemen talk about it today. So yeah, I can See,
Oh,
something I
we
don't
changed
really
your mind?
agree. No, I don't really agree with that. Disrespectfully agree with that
Right.
ending. I still say
The ending for what?
who
what-
Batman is.
You disagree with the ending of what book?
Not the book, the animated movie.
What movie?
What were the
What's the
Killing
name of
Joke?
it again?
Killing Joke?
Oh, The Killing Joke.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
The film
for those
called
who-
Killing
yeah.
Joke.
With the joke at the end.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
The Killing
And nobody
Joke.
dies.
Yeah.
The Killing Joke where everybody just
But
hugs
see,
each other.
but see, you're saying killing joke in one way. I'm saying, hey, look, he told a joke that killed.
No.
you know,
No.
hey, it's a killing joke. There you
now
go.
you
Yeah.
get the hell out of here.
That joke is terrible. Come on.
It's Joker. Yeah, that joke is terrible. Thank you.
Which also made me upset. Like, why is Batman laughing? It's terrible. Batman has a terrible sense of humor. I guess.
But no, to answer your question,
yeah.
I'm the other direction. Yeah, so,
Thumbs up on
I'm,
this one.
I'm thumbs up now.
I am a bit of a sucker for the Batman animated films. Most of them don't really hold up to what I really want from them. I would really love a return to the heyday of Batman animated series and so on. These are fine. I will take them. Wonder Woman's one of their best. Maybe we should do an episode on that one day. But it's a modest thumbs up from me. Thank you for being with us this week. We will talk at you next time.
Peace
Bye.
and chicken grease.
DC
All right,
pretty
and-
much does animation better than Marvel.
That is 100% true.
And
There's
Marvel
no-
does live action better than DC.
There's no competition when it comes to animated
Though I
movies.
wasn't too disappointed. I finally got around to Justice League, like you said. I didn't hate it like Batman v Superman, but not that I even really hated that. I mean,
It certainly sucked less.
when I saw the extended version of the movie, it
was
added a
less
little bit more
suckish.
that it made it less sucky, and I
I
kind
mean, it
of
wasn't
enjoyed
good, but it did suck less.
Which movie?
The Dawn of Justice, yeah.
The Justice League?
No,
Justice
it was
Oh, Bat Superman.
Yeah, Bat v Superman. Yeah.
You guys are out of your mind. All right. And with that,
Oh,
we
you
will,
don't think that the Justice film
I'm trying to
sucked
end the
less?
show.
I'm just asking. You don't think that it sucked less than
Justice League sucked less?
Yes.
Sure.
Do you agree with me? See?
I thought you were talking about the extended version of Batman and Superman or something.
No.
No, I just brought that up saying that.
All right. Yeah, that's what sucked less. Fine. But still awful.
We agree.
I wouldn't say it was awful.
Yeah.
I would give it a solid C minus.
I need to end the show.